What's up, race fans, and welcome to another episode of the Pecino Report. This is the podcast where we get straight past the hype and we pick the brain of the genius that is Manuel Pecino, the man who's been around the paddock for about 60 or 70 years, and he's still only 28. Oh my God, it's incredible. So here we are, season 2021. This is episode 21. It's the Super Morbido episode. So we're going to get all Brazilian. Should have had a Brazilian background, shouldn't I? Well, we're going to get all funky and loose this episode. It's going to be a bit crazy. But then again, is it the Digia episode, which is a lot more efficient and European? No, we'll go with Morbido. Why not? Indeed. So we've just had Silverstone. There probably wasn't as much controversy as what we were expecting, what we've come to expect from MotoGP. It was still a bloody good race. It was a fantastic weekend. So much going on. We're going to get straight into it. Before we do, I'll say a quick hello to my wonderful co-host, Andrea. How are you enjoying season 2021?
So good. I'm trying to think, because it was quite an uneventful weekend. I think my highlight was in I don't know if it was FP2 when Pole got in Aleix's way.
Oh, yes.
And Aleix lost his shit and Pole's trying to blow him kisses like, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, yeah, that was probably my little moment, but it was good. It was good.
Indeed, it was indeed. And it's straight over to the man himself, the man whose name is on the tin, the man whose opinions that we all come here to look for. As he says, he never gives up. Manuel, how are you doing, mate?
Wow, what an introduction, Stu. Today you are really in a high, eh?
Yeah. Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, look, this time I followed the race like you on the TV, obviously, with computers and the timesheets and everything. Mm-hmm. And I have to say that I don't regret not having gone to UK
Funny
because
England.
I saw everyone with a coat.
Yes.
while I was sitting in the garden and in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Come to the south. Come to the south.
Manuel, do you watch it through the MotoGP app? Because there was a little bit of a technical issue and the whole world couldn't watch the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, look,
Yeah.
I tell you, I have a Spanish broadcast. I have MotoGP. I have an Italian broadcast.
Okay.
I have
You've got a backup and a backup and a backup.
So I hear the comments from different languages, and it's funny to see. It's funny to see because obviously the Italians push for the Italians. They basically only speak about Valentino Rossi, especially this weekend.
Yeah.
And the Spaniards, they speak about everything, and the Spaniards, they forgive Marc Marquez of the things he does. And so it's so interesting. So, and I have to say that the most neutral ones are the guys from MotoGP. Because basically there aren't many Brits on the field, so they are able to be quite balanced, you know.
True.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about that first of all. Before we go any further, there were some Brits in the field this time. Cal had a very quiet race, obviously filling in for Vinales, taking Vinales' seat in the Monster Energy team, and our wonderful friend of the show, Jake Dixon, number 96. What a weekend from him.
Yes. We have to say that for him, it was like going to Disney World, you know, or Disneyland.
Yep.
He got
the golden ticket.
Exactly. No queuing anywhere. He got just straight in. Yep. And I imagine, and he said he enjoyed a lot, you know. It's for a professional rider, something like this must be something fantastic.
I was so excited to see that moment, and I was waiting for the footage, and we got it when he came back into the pit after that first ride, and I know he said naughty words and it was hilarious, but the look on his face was just, and I was sitting there going, this is a professional rider who races, so for him to even just go, holy shit, like it was so good. So good.
Indeed.
Yes.
And to watch his lap times come down as well, like this is literally a guy who has never sat on one of those bikes before FP1, and to see his lap times come down 4 or 5 seconds across those 3 practice sessions was absolutely amazing. It was a shame he had some problems during the race. He was saying that the bike didn't feel the same during the race. He doesn't know why, and they're looking into it. But yeah, what an experience for the guy, and to be lapping in the 2-minute mark.
He did pretty well. He did pretty
Absolutely.
well, and he had these the needed crashes, because when you get on the bike, first you get used, then you get some confidence, then you push, then you crash, then you get one step back. But for him, it was fantastic. And even what you said about the bike was not the same at the end of the race. Basically,
Manuel,
this is normal.
Oh,
It never is.
Is it because is it the difference between preparing and then racing, or is it to do with settings, or is it, what could it be?
No. What could it be is not the bike changes, the MotoGP bikes, and I think most of the race bike change a lot from the beginning to the end of the race. The tire wear, you can adjust the bike for the beginning or the end, or basically for a compromise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they're very susceptible to temperature as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and he is not used to this. So anyhow, congratulations, Jake.
Amazing.
Good job. We were happy for you and we enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing him on there again.
That he's coming back at Aragon? I don't know if that was confirmed or not. I saw a few things, but I'm not sure what was.
I don't know yet. Yeah. Later when we go to Yamaha, I explain the situation.
Okay. Let's see, Manuel. We'll get you to talk to his people in the background as well, and see if we can maybe have a chat with him soon before it all fades off, and see if we can get his words as well. That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yes,
indeed. And yes, but like you said, he had the mandatory crash there in FP2, but he didn't crash in the race. Someone who did crash in the race, Marc Marquez, number 93.
Not only in the race.
Geez, in FP1, wasn't it? He crashed in FP1. 274.
Stu, I think you are into the airplane stuff.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's a rocket ship.
747. How do you say? Takes off at 300. So more or less, he jumped off. He jumped out of a 747.
Indeed.
My God.
And he tucked and rolled nicely, didn't he? He kept the arms in, didn't flap around too much. That was good to see. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, first you were right. We saw how quickly he covered his arms and his hands. Okay, and we also saw how good the boots are, because if you look at this at the crash, he hit so many times hard with the feet on the ground, but these boots are so strong. They basically only allowed a movement back forward.
Yep.
And they are completely stiff on the lateral.
The other way. Yep. Because you just got to change gear. That's it.
Yeah. So this saved him 270 Ks.
Insane.
And he admitted that it was his error.
He was what?
He admitted that it was his error. He made a mistake. And this is in the race. Sorry, not for that, but
no. But you every crash, Andrea, is a rider's mistake. Every crash. Crash.
Yeah. But for them to admit it, that's another thing.
No, but I was jumping to the race when he took out Martin.
But he had that crash in FP1 on Friday. He had another crash, don't forget, in the warm-up of Sunday.
He did warm-up as well, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And then came, so it were 3 crashes in one Grand Prix. You know how many crashes he had so far in 10 races? 16 races. And look,
he wouldn't have had that many for his whole career, would he?
No, yes, he has crashed 23 times every season, 24. But this is normal. But look, before we enter in the race situation, I have to say that when I saw the after of the warm-up lap, warm-up crash, I really got worried with Marc Marquez. And I have to say, and I wrote yesterday in an Italian newspaper, I am worried with Marc Marquez. Wow. Because if you realize, if you watch at the scene when he crashes in the warm-up, Marc always runs to the bike and pick up the bike.
Yeah, first reaction, yeah.
And he has been picking up the bike 100 times because he has crashed more than 100. Did you see that he tried and he did like,
and
then it didn't go.
Yep.
And then he had to wait for the marshal. So this was so clear that he's not fit. His physical condition is very much below of what he says.
Mhm.
And is another thing. Normally, when he lifted the bike, he did it with his elbows on the body, you know, really,
Yeah.
and push like this. This time he went with the arms open like a V, and tried to push. And in the very moment, something happened, and he touched his right shoulder. So, and then happened that in the race, the crash in the race after I don't know how many, 4, 5, 6 corners. And it's clear that Marc doesn't control the bike.
Exactly.
He tries to race like he did in the past, but the body's not there. Simply not there. And this worries me. He's pushing. Look, remember the crash 270 this time. Do you remember the crash in Jerez when he hit the air fence? That awful crash in Jerez. And he ended doing a tack in the hospital because he hit his head. So, okay, I think he's pushing too much. You know, he's pushing, and his body, his brain wants to do something that his body does not follow.
Yeah, he's trying to ride at the same level. His brain's at the level, but his body's just not there.
Yeah,
so on the
is
bike,
so
as you say,
dangerous.
he's out of control. As we saw
Exactly
the first time he tried to go up the inside of Jorge Martin, bang, almost barreled him out of the way. And then the second time, took both of them out.
Do you think he can adjust? Do you think he will improve and get better? Because it's been, you would anticipate that he would be fully recovered by now.
And the problem of Marc, and I have told you this, never trust what the riders say. And Marc does exactly the opposite of what comes out of his mouth. We have heard him saying, no, we in Honda have realized that we have lost this season, so racing is over for us. We are just working for next year.
Yeah, right.
Look my finger. Look my finger.
Yeah.
Every time he goes out on the track, he goes out for racing with no mercy, you know. And what happens? We are seeing, and I am really, really worried with Marc because, you know, he's pushing the Y and a certain. He has been so lucky so far.
He has, that's right, and that luck can only go so far, can't it, as well? So, yeah, who knows what's going to happen for the rest of the season?
And regarding the crash on Sunday in Italy, where they like controversial, you know, Italy is controversial. They are doubting, or they are saying, okay, what was that second move? Kind of revenge of Marquez because of the first touch,
right? Of course. Yeah. The controversy, drama. No. You're right. Look, they love that, the Italians, don't they?
Yeah. But it's open there. But look, I was thinking about this. We can say it's a race. How do you say race action or race incident?
Racing incident. Yep.
Racing incident. But look at something. The guys who are involved in race incidents are always the same.
Yes. Exactly.
Zarco is always in race incident. Marc Marquez is number one. So, okay, race incident. But why? These are always the same guys involved. There is one plus another one who comes in and out. But normally, this guy who have to go to the question mark race incident are always the same guys.
Oh, it's purely coincidence, Manuel. Come on, surely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Indeed.
Accidental.
Yeah. And look, on the other side of the Honda garage as well, a fantastic weekend for Pole on pole, which was really, really good. I think that was a good boost for him. Do you reckon?
Yes. And after what I saw in do you know, in English, Archimedes, the Greek philosopher, who said,
right.
give me a point where I don't know how to say in English. Give me a point where I can and put a, and they can move the world.
Oh, right.
You know
Like a
what I-
lever. Yeah.
Yeah, so give
Yep,
me a
yep.
lever, I can move the world. In
Yep.
the, we can change this and adapt to Paul Espargaro and say, give me grip, and I show you what I am capable.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it because of the cooler conditions that he was doing so well? Because I think it was a lot cooler leading up to the actual race.
Well,
I was
said
learning
that
this
it
over
was-
the weekend about the Hondas and how they heat up more quicker.
Yeah, but Paul said basically it's the colder temperature, but you need the floor that has grip.
Yeah.
I mean, the
surface.
asphalt.
Yep.
The surface, remember that Silverstone has been resurfaced 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Two
So
years
the
ago,
grip is 2 years ago. So the grip is very high. So at the end, wow, it was like maybe Paul was right. And we were just doing this to him. But he showed something, give me grip, and I show you what I am capable.
Exactly.
Like in Italian say,
But
at the end, it was a big boost for him, and the start of the race was really a brotherhood between the Espargaros. And like a friend of mine said, okay, the first laps in the race too, it was like doing the video for the Christmas video for the Espargaro family.
Yeah, exactly. That's what will be on the background for their Christmas. Yeah,
exactly. Christmas, they will sit in front of the TV. Okay, put it again.
Yeah,
and there we are.
Yeah. In years to come, it'll be the show me again, Granddad. The day of both you won.
And I have to say that Fabio Quartararo was very polite and very nice because he let them do their video. Okay, and then he said, "Okay, guys, enough video. It was enough Christmas video." And then he bang, it went away.
Christmas is over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Christmas is over. Yeah.
You know what?
Santa.
I'm really starting to like Fabio. He's not been my favorite rider, and I like to make fun of little things, but he's just phenomenal, isn't he?
How do you know he's got a little thing?
I've seen his little boobies.
His little nipples. He is like, seriously.
God, he's I doubted
together.
I doubted his focus and his maturity and all that, and he's just he's on point.
Yep.
He played another league the last weekend. He was like, I don't know where he was, but he was in another league from the start. He had that crash. He went out. He did lap 3/10 faster than the others in the practice.
Yep.
It was really easy for him. And look, and Fabio is heading to the championship straight, but not only because of the advantage of points he has, because he's the rider who is riding better, because things come out easy for him, because he's enjoying, he's in this moment where everything is perfect. He's like,
he's got this clarity, like it all just looks crystal clear.
Exactly.
He's floating he's floating on a cloud.
Yeah. He seriously is. You're right, Manuel. That word easy, that's what struck me on the weekend. It did seem easy for him, and that if I was any of the other riders in the paddock, I'd be scared of that. That's quite concerning.
Yes, and I tell you something that is not something, it's something to talk about, right? Look, what happened with the tires? Fabio was the only rider who used soft tire in the front and soft compound in the back.
That's right, yeah.
The other two riders, the only other two riders who used soft in the front were Pecco Bagnaia and Joan Mir.
Yeah.
And
where did they finish?
Pecco changed that on the grid because all the other 5 Ducati raced with medium tires in the front.
Yeah.
But I don't know if when they saw Fabio putting the soft,
I think so.
The two contenders said, we as well.
Yep. Exactly.
And for them was a disaster.
So can you just quickly explain to me, and for those that aren't all over, how the tires work? Because I sit there and go, all right, well, if they've got a slow, I get slow and medium slow, like the difference between front and rear tire. But what was it that affected so much? Was it because he had two slow tires and the guys
Two
had
soft
like,
tires.
can you explain how that works with the tires and the difference?
That I think
think he just
that's
used
a
his
whole
tires
chapter.
better. Yeah, that is an entire chapter. The crazy thing is that he can have soft tires, which traditionally when you look at these sort of things, the soft tire gives you a lot of grip in the first sort of half of the race or so, but then it's going to go off. You're going to lose that grip in the second half of the race, so you're going to be a lot slower. So for him to be on those soft tires and maintain those, what was he doing? He was doing minute 59s and then 2 minute times for the entire race. Is crazy. Whereas, as we say, those other guys went to a soft tire because they saw he had. They were up there for the first third of the race or so, but then their tires went off and they just faded straight back.
Look, it depends very much on how you ride, which type of bike you have. If you have a very powerful bike like a Ducati, you cannot use the same tires than Yamaha. That it's simply, just thinking if you stress the tire because you have a lot of power, you need the wear will be earlier than a Yamaha that has no much. The same happened with the fronts. When you put a soft one, you can really attack in the first part of the races because the front is very soft and it really grips and bites the asphalt. But biting the asphalt makes that the performance goes down quickly.
Yeah.
A good example of this was very good example were the two Honda riders, Paul Espargaro and Aleix Marquez. Both started with softs in the back. And we saw Paul at the beginning. Wow, he's doing well. He finished fifth. Aleix Marquez came from the back, started to overtake, and we also, Aleix Marquez, wow, what's happening? Where did he finish?
Eighth, yeah.
No, Aleix Marquez, because he suddenly, his rear tire finished, and then all what he had gained, he lost.
Exactly, yeah. And he just couldn't go further any forward, yeah.
And in this situation, and he said, look, normally, the thing is you have to manage this tire. For example, Andrea, if instead of opening the gas very violent, if you have a soft tire, you go smooth to try to get to the finish line.
A bit longer.
Yeah, so
exactly.
and then if you put a medium tire or a hard tire and the temperature is not enough, the tire gets no temperature and then it has no grip. So they play a lot, If you put a soft and push too much, you don't finish the race.
Yeah.
If you use a too hard one, the tire never gets into temperature. You have no grip. The bike, when you accelerate, it just spins.
Just spins, and you just can't maintain the same pace as everyone else. Yeah.
That is the play. That is the play, And it depends also, for example, if a rider is like, he arrives at the braking point, brakes hard, just turns the bikes and give gas, is different from a rider that brakes soft, does a lot of corner speed with a lot of pressure on the front tire, and comes out. So it depends on the bike and on the riding style.
Yeah. And I was going to say, each rider does ride differently. So
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was expecting, and I think we were chatting during the race, weren't we, Andrea? And I was saying for Aleix and Paul specifically, I was saying, give them 5 or 6 laps and they'll fade off and they'll be gone. So I was really, really pleasantly surprised to be proven wrong in that instance. It was fantastic to see them stay up there, and especially let's get on and talk about this guy. There you go, that guy there. For Aprilia for their first modern era podium, absolutely fantastic.
Yes, remember that Aprilia entered in MotoGP in 2015, 6 years ago, and they had not had a podium till last weekend.
Yeah.
And I tell you something, I spoke with Aleix Saturday, and he told me, tomorrow is the day.
Awesome.
And I said, what do you mean? He said, tomorrow is the day that we do our first podium. And I told him, Aleix, do you realize that if you don't do it, once again, they will massacre you on social media? Because Aleix is a specialist to argue with the whole world on social media.
But so he shut them
he
all
was
up.
He was very sure. He said
Yeah.
to me, look, Manuel, I have to tell you something. Now it sounds maybe selfish. I could have done this podium before, but once because I didn't want to crash and risk too much because I am the only Aprilia rider. Other times when he said, but tomorrow is the day.
Cool.
Wow.
Cool.
And the duel between him and Miller in the last lap
That
was
brilliant.
epic.
That was brilliant. Oh, that was my highlight of the race.
I didn't know who I wanted. It was
Yeah.
really, it was so bittersweet and conflicting and just like, oh, but Jack, but go, yeah.
Yep, it was great.
But we saw the difference between absolute conviction. No, this time you are not going to steal this from me. And the other one who said,
yeah, fair enough.
I need a good result after.
Yeah, I don't want to push too hard and crash again.
Yeah, well.
Yes.
And for me, I think one of the highlights of the day was seeing Aleix jump out of the the enclosure and run to his kids.
Yeah.
He's picking up his that was amazing. That was fantastic to see.
Yeah, look, Aprilia, yesterday I was writing for another magazine and my idea I never stop 24/7.
You should be a journalist.
Yeah. Have you thought of a career in that? That'd be good.
Well, at the beginning, I thought the headline to write something, and David beat Goliath.
Ah, yes, yep.
But then I realized that it was not fair because Aprilia is not David. You know, Aprilia has 42 world titles.
Yeah, true. That's right. It's just a long time ago. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So, to say that Aprilia is small would not have been right. Aprilia is a big brand, an important brand. And I tell you, they have more titles than Ducati, for example, probably more titles than Suzuki.
In what though? In where?
In the champion,
but not MotoGP.
Not as we know it, not MotoGP
Okay.
as we know it, but yeah, what was previously, category 1
250,
Formula 1,
okay.
250 racing,
125, even in trial. Well, they have a lot of titles. So, and the nice thing, and the important thing is that in the first 6 positions, look at this. How many brands are there?
I know. I was going to mention that as well. You beat me to it. That's fantastic to see. 6 brands in the top 6. Absolutely incredible.
And the good thing is that Aprilia now is in the same train than the others.
Yeah,
they were traveling in a small little wagon, no? Behind.
So is Silverstone, because I know we've spoken in the past about different tracks suiting certain types of bike, but this here kind of shows that we've got a bit more of an even field, or is it because that's how Silverstone's, I noticed it was a bit different, didn't have any big straights and this and that. Is it the track, or is the field becoming more even?
I think partial. I think it's a bit of both, realistically. Silverstone, yes, it's not one of those tracks that has specific idiosyncrasies that suit one bike or one rider. It's very much a classic track. It's got lots of sweeping corners. Like, for example, there's no massive straights that go into a 90 or 100 degree first gear corner. There's nothing of that. So realistically, once you remove all of those things that might just suit one particular bike, then you equal the field, you'll level the field. And as you can see from behind Manuel there, that's what happens when you level the field. It's very even.
Silverstone, not Silverstone. Silverstone.
Silverstone.
This is Le Mans all over again, isn't it?
Silverstone, yeah.
Silverstone.
Yep. Hi, lads.
Stu, I am very, very with you in this story, and I have a theory. Look, Austria had 10 corners. Silverstone. Yeah,
Silverstone. That's it. Yep.
Silverstone has 18 corners. So you can commit 18 errors in one lap.
Yep.
You have 18 break points, 18 corner speed, 18 exit. So it's much more difficult to do a good lap in Silverstone than in Austria.
Yes.
And what this takes to the best riders are capable to take the most out of a difficult place.
Exactly.
So Silverstone for me is an absolute rider circuit.
Yep, that's right, and all the riders agree as well. You always hear them saying about how it's one of their favorite tracks and to ride on in the atmosphere. And now they've resurfaced it as well. The amount of grip that they've got there, they just seem to be loving it even more.
Yeah, I spoke with a Spanish world champion, with Sito Pons, and he explained to me, it's so difficult, Silverstone, because you almost never do the perfect lap, because you have so many places to try to do perfect that at the end you fail somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of them. Like as everyone knows, I drive the racing simulator. It's my absolute favorite track to drive in the racing simulator for that exact reason. It's so challenging. You can never get a perfect lap because you're always thinking, I'm going to perfect that corner, or I'm going to perfect that corner through Maggots and Beckett's. I'll try. Yeah, and you lose it somewhere else. Yeah. Exactly. All right. So that was the race. Any more honorable mentions, or shall we move on and talk about the other stuff?
I was just going to say, I was trying to work out why Stu's so excited and happy, but I think it's because he's got a little Suzuki up there on the podium as well.
Let me finish just with the Aprilia anecdote.
Yes.
You know, obviously for Aprilia, it was a super boost. Massimo Ribola, who is the CEO of Aprilia, in an interview I did some weeks ago, he told me that probably his most challenging mission when he arrived in Aprilia was to convince the Aprilia people that they were not less than the others.
Yep. Why they should be spending money in there. Yeah.
No. I mean the people of the team, because when you constantly are the last, they said our people entered into the paddock like feeling less, smaller than the others.
I got you. Yep.
Yep.
He said, and now we can enter in the paddock saying, and just because one podium, but this is a whole boost. And
20
then,
feet tall.
After the race, they went and contacted through Zoom with the engineers that sit in the racing departments on the computers on the racing weekends. You know, because there are a lot of engineers home checking with the computers what should have been done. And they were they felt, you know, the Aprilia people's face, they were so shiny. They were like, wow, we did it. You know, it was a boost. They just did a third place, but for them it was like they entered in another dimension. Now we are part of the game.
They're part of the cool kids.
Yeah.
In the cool kids club.
In the cool kids.
Ding, 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 with the cool kids. Exactly. Something like that anyway.
You got the moves tonight, Stu.
I know. Well, it's the Brazilian episode.
I can't move like that.
The girl of Ipanema. The girl of Ipanema.
That's right. Yeah.
How many times have we seen that video? I'm too much of a white girl. I can't.
You're the whitest person I know, apart from me. Yeah, indeed. Okay, look, incredible race, amazing results. Obviously, we know that this is pretty much really put Fabio Quartararo on the path to the World Championship. I don't want to give him the jinx, touch wood, but this, for me, when I look back on the year, this is going to be the weekend where I go, that's where he just said, see you later, everybody. And he just went and did it. So for me, that's what I'll remember from this weekend, I think, mainly.
Is this his second or third season?
Third season.
Third, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because he came up to the Petronas team and then
2 years in Petronas and this first in Yamaha.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Oui.
Yeah, so speaking about another ex-Yamaha rider, so I think we've got some more news about a certain Mr. Top Gun, Maverick Vinales.
Let's do it.
What are you hearing there, Manuel?
Well, hearing he is, in this very moment, he is riding for the first time the bike that May 3rd.
Yep, that one there. Yep.
Yeah, he's riding the Aprilia in Misano. Remember that Misano is the circuit where the second next Grand Prix will be held.
Yes. Yeah.
So he is testing 2 days, today and tomorrow. So if things run half okay, we will see Maverick on Aprilia colors in Misano.
So that's explain to me the contractual situation. So he is free to ride for Aprilia now, yeah?
Yeah. I think I don't know exactly how they finish with Yamaha, but he.
This is where I have the. Have you seen that graphic of Homer Simpson going over a bridge and burning it behind him? I think that's how he finished it with Yamaha.
Burning bridges.
Yeah,
Exactly.
good.
But I think. Look, I think if Yamaha would have paid him the contract of this year, he would not have been able to race, because you don't pay somebody and then let them race against you with your money. You know, So probably they have finished like Simpson, like Homer Simpson.
Yep.
And now he's free to ride. He has a contract for 2022, and he will ride this season. Whether he will do it as a step rider of Savadori or as a wild card, I don't know.
Yeah.
The concession teams, like Aprilia they have a special treatment to allow them to develop the bike. I think they have the chance to do 6 wild cards a year.
Yep.
So he could perfectly race.
He could race every race.
Yep. So it would be fantastic to see 3 Aprilias on the grid. That would be great, eh?
That would be very cool indeed.
Is it common for riders to change throughout a season like this? Is this rare?
Quite rare,
I don't remember.
I know,
I think I have never seen it before.
I know we've seen it in Moto 3 recently, where I can't remember who it was now.
Moto 3.
I know, Manuel. Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
And I do want to talk about the lower classes in a minute, but before we do, so Vinales testing at Misano, and so we'll probably see him racing at Misano in a couple of weeks' time. That will be very interesting to see what he looks like in those red, white, and green leathers.
Yeah. You know, there is so much curiosity because there is a problem. He has only raced 4 inline engines. Now he's going to jump on a V4 engine. The character is supposed to be very different. Obviously, there are 2 different bikes. But on the other hand, Vinales has been always faster than Aleix Espargaro.
Yeah.
So it looks so interesting, you know. So Misano will be interesting because of this. Vinales on the Aprilia because it's Valentino's
last
home Grand Prix.
2 last home Grand Prix, yep.
And because we will see Andrea Dovizioso on a Yamaha.
Exactly. That's the next point. Nice segue. Dovi on a Yamaha. Well, speaking of riders chopping and changing, in the last 12 months, this guy's ridden the current Ducati, the current Aprilia, and the current Yamaha. He must be locked up with NDAs closer than anybody else. This guy is not going to be able to say a word to anyone without having a lawyer in his face going, no comment.
No.
And if I were Yamaha, I would put him on one of these machines that say if you say the truth or not.
Oh, the lie detector. Yeah.
Lie detector. Yeah. Okay, too. Then tell us about the Ducati. Tell us. No.
Oh, it's not
tell
as
us
good.
about the Aprilia.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got better corner speed.
So that would be good. At the end, Adobe has signed with Yamaha.
Yep.
Something that has only happened because they're frustrated try with Raul Fernandez. And also because the new sponsor of that team will be an Italian brand.
Yeah. So this is what we sort of broke last week in our Petronas special, where you were saying that the new primary sponsor with you in the, I'm calling it Rasley Racing team, the new team, because they're Italian, they will want an Italian rider. So that really locks up that one seat, doesn't it? So there's still one seat in that team that's up in the air.
I don't think so. I don't think so. There is no official confirmation, but I think that this seat is already for Darren Binder.
Okay, you think they will give it to Darren Binder straight from Moto 3?
No, not give it. he will take it.
He'll take it. Nice.
Lou, it's very important. The words are very important to be precise.
You're right. Yes.
Because they don't give it. It's like, it's mine.
Yeah. Do you think he'll be using the same lawyers that Dovi is using to enforce that contract?
No, because he's managed by an American management company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Dovi is just an Italian manager who does a good job as well. But the other ones, they are merciless. There is, if not,
I've heard Darren
in court.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard Darren saying that I'm just riding the bike. I'll let those guys get on with that.
Can you both tell me what it was like when Jack Miller jumped from Moto3 to MotoGP? How did he handle the big?
He was terrible. He crashed all the time.
Okay.
For like 2 or 3 years, he copped shit about not being ready and going up too early, and because he was with the Australia Galicia team, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he had a very bad luck because he did that super stressing move, that super rare move, and they put him on the worst bike on the grid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, here you go,
that
mate.
Was that? Yeah, he and Nicky Hayden and others, Tito Rabat, they were victims of that horrible customer MotoGP Honda.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep. Remember that. Yep. Terrible.
They ruined, and another one who got ruined was Morbidelli.
Yes. Yeah.
Those four riders.
He did it too.
Morbidelli on the same bike, Jack, Tito Rabat, and I just said, but I don't remember the fourth one. You know, they got ruined with that bike. That bike was terrible.
Yep. Customer bikes.
So most of them are up there. So could a move like that, or a move like that obviously can be detrimental to the rider as well if they can't work it out. It could be the worst move.
Look, that move was an experiment. Honda did, because my admired Alberto Puig, my best mate, the worst manager I have met, they decided, or they looked at Moto2 at that time, and they said that there was any good rider in Moto2 to step up with a level to ride the MotoGP. So they try, okay, let's get the best Moto3 rider and put him straight onto the MotoGP.
What kind of call is that's a big call.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, look, if I was making the decisions, I wouldn't do that. But I can see that Binder has a contract that's in place that's going to make it extremely difficult to not give him that seat, or to make him take the seat, as it were. And from Darren's point of view, yes, he's always going to take that opportunity. He's not going to get another opportunity like this. He's not one of the younger guys in Moto3. This is his last chance, realistically. So, you know, he might come through and perform really well, but who knows? I still think that there were other better options there, but hey, who knows? Yeah,
and look, I hope, because I really like Darren, that with him doesn't happen what has happened with Iker Lecuona.
Exactly.
You know, Iker Lecuona now, he's really performing decently for a guy who has the less number of Grand Prix in MotoGP.
Yes, exactly.
He's 19 or 20, something like this. And his career is nothing, because he was seated on a bike maybe too early, you know? If you do something like this, you have to be patient. What happened with Jack? When they put Jack, they told Jack, okay, go to MotoGP. Obviously, they signed a 3-year contract with HRC. So which rider wouldn't take that opportunity? Exactly. You are an HRC rider. You have a contract for 3 years. They tell you that, to do it by yourself, So you have to take it. There's no way to say no.
Yeah, that's right. You don't pass up those opportunities. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, for Dovi, absolutely amazing. So for what's the first race we're going to see Dovi back at?
I think
Misano,
yes.
Yeah, he won't be back in time for Aragon. So
because in Aragon, look what happened. In Aragon is a mess. We have seen Cal Crutchlow dressed in Petronas colors in Austria. Here he had another racing suit in Monster
Yamaha.
Monster Yamaha. If Morbidelli returns in Aragon, which is not sure, he will have to take out again the Petronas
Yep.
leathers
Yep.
and go back to
Dust them off.
2019 bike.
Yeah.
Do they just,
Yeah.
because I learned the other weekend that they have their suits made specifically for them. Do they just have all their suits there ready just in case they go jump on another bike?
No, they literally tailor them.
I bet
Yeah.
there are, yes.
Yeah, well,
They
yeah.
have.
There's a massive trailer that goes around with these guys, and you can probably say more about the leathers trailer. They will literally make you a set of leathers in the back of the trailer. They have swatches of leather in all of the colors and everyone's sizes. They will literally make you a set of leathers
No way.
in the trailer on the weekend. Yep.
Yeah, and they have a workshop where
Yep.
they fix the leather. So I think, I haven't seen it, there must be a special Marc Marquez department to fix the leathers, because every 10 minutes there comes a racing suit from Marc Marquez to get fixed.
Well, that's interesting though, because they could crash quite a number of times on the weekend, and obviously
Yeah.
it doesn't wreck their leathers every fall. But you've got, imagine going, oh no, they can't go back out, they've run out of leathers. Like there has to, they must have 5 or so suits ready to go.
Exactly. Imagine Marquez running around. He'd be like Frozone in The Incredibles.
I wanna
Where
go-
is my super suit? Have you seen my racing suit?
I want to learn more about this. Not because I'm a lady, just because this is another part of the paddock that fascinates me. Some of the behind the scenes bits that
Simon-
keeps it.
Yes, Simon Crafar has done a really interesting. He did a tech talk with with the leathers guys. So go back and have a hunt, see if you can find it. It is really interesting. It
Would
is
you say
fascinating.
TED Talk?
No, tech. He
Oh.
does it. Yeah, he just,
I was like, really?
My
Was
name's
he-
Simon, and this is my TED talk.
Picture him
says,
on stage with the big
And
red.
then he went to Alpine and said, tell us,
Yeah.
tell us.
Can you tell us? Share that with us.
Oh,
No, he's awesome. Simon's
He's
brilliant.
freaking awesome. He is a
I
bloody.
love him.
I love listening to him.
He's great. All
He's,
right.
he's following the script they showed. They told him in that special talking classes he took. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. Yeah.
Speak low, speak slow,
Low.
and vocalize perfectly
Yes.
all the letters.
I should try and do that after we got some feedback last week from someone that said
You
that
did.
they can't they can't
Crazy,
understand me.
Crazy Australian lady. Oh, we can't understand you.
Us Spanish
Slow
and Italians
down.
don't understand. And I was having
Accentuate
this,
your
I was having
words.
this conversation last week because I work with the French and we do have challenges with the language
Yes.
barrier. And the Australian language, as I'm sure the listeners know, is quite fast and we don't use proper English. We
No, of
use
course.
words that no one knows what they mean.
Mhm. But for that gentleman that gave us that wonderful feedback, I'll remind you that YouTube has subtitles, mate. So you're on your
Does
own.
it pick up our naughty words?
Let's find out. Poo bum bugger. Right, everyone, let me know what comes up on the bottom of the screen. There we go. Awesome. All right, look, before we go, I just want to touch base. Remy Gardner, what a beast! That
Shit.
him and Bez. That was. Did you see that race? That Moto2 race, Manuel? Because it was after the MotoGP, probably. So that was your excuse.
That
Seriously,
battle.
mate. Do yourself a favor. Go back and watch it. It was.
I
great.
had money on Bez
Yes.
through
Yep.
sports bet, and I wanted Remy to win because it's Remy. And I was just like, do I win
Yep.
$160 or do we want Remy to win? That
Yep.
battle was, and it was like, oh, Manuel, you got to watch it.
was Great.
Yes.
Seriously.
Watch it for us.
And yeah, for the whole 18 laps, absolutely fantastic. It was really good. And George's Naval come in third on
And,
the on the
no,
podium.
sorry,
Brilliant.
I saw that Raul Fernandez crashed on lap 4 or something like that.
Yep.
What
Yeah,
happened?
it was his own mistake. His
Yeah.
own mistake. Yep, just made a mistake. I don't remember which corner it was, but with I think there was only about 5 or 6 laps to go. And
But was he in the
was-
group or not? Was
No.
he in the group?
No, he was
was
he
back.
was back by himself. He was back in about 7th or 8th or something.
He just spat it in the corner, didn't
And
he?
just spat it in the corner. Yeah,
Mm.
he clearly didn't have the right rear tire for Silverstone, and he just couldn't stay with that lead group. He was back by about or at least 6 or 7 seconds, and he just pushed too hard, and just lost the front.
It's a big shame.
Yeah, and I want to repeat in this case that Silverstone is a rider's track, and we
Mhm.
saw what
Exactly.
Remy performed.
Exactly,
That is-
all of the good
That
riders.
it is. That it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, indeed. So what's this week got in store for you, Manuel? We've got a couple of weeks before the next race. What have you got? You're doing some writing. You doing any traveling?
look, I have done an incredible investigation about Maverick Vinales, but incredible.
What did you find?
And
actually
the
a
headline is guilty or non guilty. You decide. So I put on the all the data, all the facts.
Yep.
Not rumor, all the facts, and then everyone can decide who is the guilty one. If Yamaha has pushed him out of the box, if it's Vinales who has gained to be pushed out of the box, but it's really wow. I have spent hours watching the video. Watching.
So is that live on PecinoGP.com at the moment?
No, I'm uploading this week.
Brilliant. And that'll be premium content, yeah? So everyone has to subscribe to get that one?
I don't know. I it's so good that I would like people, but it has taken so much time. I haven't decided yet. If it's premium or not.
Manuel.
I've got a question for you, Manuel. And hey, for all the viewers and listeners, this is completely cold. Manuel is not aware that I'm about to do this.
I miss these moments.
We get some really cool comments from our viewers and our listeners. This week, if people watch the podcast and comment on YouTube, can I get you to select the best comment on there and give somebody a free subscription to PecinoGP.com?
Good idea. Fantastic.
Yes.
Manuel's face. He's like,
I like that. I like that.
There we go. Awesome. So for everybody out there, get on the socials, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that sort of stuff. When you're watching this episode on YouTube, watch the whole thing through, put some cool comments in there. We love to engage with everybody. Manuel will decide which is the best one, and you will win a free subscription to PecinoGP.com so you can get all this incredible content.
And we'll know who listened to the end.
Yeah, we will indeed.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I need a marketing director. I think
I know
we can talk. We can talk.
Brilliant. And any messages for the viewers before we go?
I do have an exciting story and two quick messages. Quick shout out to John Wheeler and Richard Costa and Manuel. I didn't contact you because I know you were sleeping this morning, but yesterday I rang Stu and I was like, Stu, oh my God. I was at work, and as I mentioned before, I work with the French, and we have a lot of French people over here. And one of them, he said, "What's on your mask?" And I said, "Oh, it's MotoGP." And he goes, "Oh, Andrea, when I go back to France, you come stay at my apartment and we go to the races." And I was like, "Where?" And he's like, "I have an apartment in Le Mans." So even today I saw him and I'm like, "You remember and now this is recorded." I was like, "You remember you said that?" And he's like, "Yes, absolutely. As soon as I go home, you come and we go for the weekend." Who would have thought?
It's true.
Wow.
So we all hate you now, Andrew.
Very excited. I'll rock up, me and like all my 20 mates.
Brilliant. It's going to be so cool. Yeah, indeed.
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you again to everybody for watching.
Just one last thing.
Yeah, go on. You go.
Just one of my sons, he does 18 September the 3rd.
Yep. Happy birthday.
My birthday present, ticket in Misano to say goodbye to Valentino Rossi.
Oh my God.
You're a good dad. That's it. You're the best dad ever. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, hang on.
So he won't forget that.
Get him there? Is it just a ticket to get in the gate, but he's got to get there himself, yeah?
No. He travels with me, but then I told him, forget me for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But look, it's his first Grand Prix ever, and it will be the goodbye of Valentino.
Oh, Manuel, will you be my daddy?
Ooh, who's your daddy? So Manuel, I don't know if it's the same in Europe, but it's Father's Day here in Australia this weekend, and you win Father of the Year for Father's Day.
That's
well done,
so
mate.
good.
Well done.
Yay.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, listening. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks' time. Have an awesome non-race weekend. Watch those replays. Get watching that Moto 2.
Watch Moto 3.
Yeah, watch Moto 3, indeed. And we'll see you again soon on another episode of the Pecino Report. Thanks, everyone. Bye.